Welcome to a very special card review. If you have missed it so far, we've been talking about the other cards of the new expansion that were so far announced. The video just came out a couple hours before this, presumably. You can go check that out. We had Pimpkarp on there as well, and he's still here with us. He's still going to help us out, give some qualified opinions on what we're looking at here. And if you are not aware of the whole situation that's going on right now, scroll back a day or two. You can find all the information that you need to know about the Scholomance Academy expansion in a concise report that we made with everything that you need to know. A link in the description, info box, left, right, and center. If we could put notifications on the screen, we'd do it. But go check it out, and you'll be caught up on everything we're doing. We're going to get into Battleground stuff tomorrow, and we're going to bring in another expert for that. It's good that we can do that now. But this card is something that we purposefully skipped over when we reviewed the other cards, which video also linked, because this is such a special one and there's like 25 different instances of it, so we felt like it deserved its own video so we can actually delve into detail about how this goes. Now, this card has been widely regarded as a meme card when it was first revealed, and a lot of people just straight up didn't believe it. A lot of people thought it was just, this is off of custom Hearthstone, this is fake, and they would never print this, but they did it. They put a Volpira in.
Yeah, that's not the part that... Anyways, so yeah, this is a 2-mana 2/2. It's an epic. So far, so good. Get it right now by logging to Hearthstone before October 20th. That, again, not the exciting part. The exciting part is it has a different effect based on which game board you're on.
Yes. And that is a randomized effect that we get whenever we start the game. Now, first of all, Pimpkarp, general opinion on incorporating this idea and also on printing another Volpira.
So, I think I have to side with Alex and say that the Volpira is scum and needs to be eradicated.
Thank you very much. Finally,
but no, I think the card is just going to lead to some more RNG Fiesta nonsense, which I like more often than not. I feel like I enjoy the game more when I'm not taking it as seriously. I mean, I enjoy the hardcore climb part sometimes, but this will be interesting, especially in Wild. I feel like because you can go through every single board.
Thank you for putting the quality of our tournament down quite a lot. In case you don't know, Pimpkarp is the inaugural Trash Bowl champion, at which point he played phenomenally well. Of course.
I meant more so that I like to play weird memey decks more often than strictly, competitive decks. I like the goofier decks sometimes.
You rely on immense talent rather than super serious grinding. Base.
I run full meta decks in the tournament half the time.
That's true. That is true. That is correct.
That being said, speaking of meme versus meta, let's determine where this card lands. First of all, of course, worth mentioning, as Pimpkarp already said, you're going to have more boards in Wild because we're only getting the boards that correlate to sets that are in Standard in Standard, so we're getting less effects.
Those are going to be the important ones.
And I'm going to open a Reddit thread here, which has conveniently all of the different effects assembled by you. You can read it yourself. I'm not going to try to pronounce Reddit usernames.
And using old Reddit in 2020.
What is this new Reddit?
Is this Reddit? Oh, the sub-design is old Reddit.
I'm also not... Can you even switch to designs when you're... Oh, yeah, no, you can. It's URL stuff. You don't have to log in. The point is, there was a bunch of these. The ones that are emboldened are the center ones. It says in the table as well. First of all, we got the 4 classic boards. Orgrimmar. Battlecry, deal 2 damage.
Battlecry, deal 2 damage. People have compared it to SI7 Agent, Ironforge Rifleman. I think this is somewhat basic, but actually pretty strong. What do you think?
I mean, was it a 2/2, right?
Yeah, 2/2 for 2 mana.
I already forget. I mean, it's a better Kobold Lackey. It's 2 mana, 2/2, deals 2 damage. I think it's pretty solid. I mean, no matter what, it's just, it's got decent value.
Yeah, and I guess we can... I don't think we have to linger too
long
on
this one.
No, let's
move on and we'll fall out if we find something that's like really special.
Stranglethorn, also classic board. Yeah. Stealth Poisonous. Now there is a direct comparison to Patient Assassin here, which is also a 2-drop and a class card no less. That is the same thing, but with 1/1 less in stats. So
it's a strictly better Patient Assassin.
Yes.
Stealth Poisonous could be quite strong, especially in the meta where a lot of big stuff comes down.
Yeah, I agree. Stealth Poison's always a good option.
Yeah, in Stormwind, another classic board, we got Divine Shield.
Simple, maybe not the strongest, but very simple. Probably maybe not quite as good as the Stealth Poison, but hey, if it was just that, a 2-mana 2/2 Divine Shield, probably not going to see play. Gonna be honest.
I mean, it's like Argent Squire, but a 2-drop, which makes it worse.
I don't think this is phenomenal by any means.
Pandaria, Battlecry, give a friendly minion +1/+2.
Seems decent. Kind of reminds me of like the Fallen/Shattered Sun Clerics, which are properly statted, but they give +1/+1.
I mean, we'll have to see how Demon Hunter fares after the nerf, but that could be good in the Demon Hunter pre-nerf archetype.
Oh, yeah, that's an interesting idea. It'll go to like aggro for sure. With a Pandaria board, I think it makes a lot of sense. And I guess we'll go through them and then we'll kind of talk about like how this actually affects like the ideas of deck building and whether it's gonna be consistent enough to go in one archetype or another. So let's just keep going here. These are the wild ones, I guess.
Yeah, let's get into the wild ones. There is more or less one per expansion. There is a couple expansions that have 2 boards, well, 2 specifically. Next Ramos, Death Rattle, add a random Death Rattle minion to your hand. We've seen something like this before in Priest, right? There was a...
Yes, Crystalline Oracle?
That's not it.
It happened.
It has happened before. Decent stats for that effect, it's fine. I think I'm just going to quickly go over the wild ones.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about each and every one.
The GVG one is Battlecry and Death Rattle, add a spare part to your hand. That also seems very familiar. Spare part's decently good. Yep. Kind of like Lucky Generation. Not quite as good. BlackRock is very interesting. It's at the end of your turn, reduce the cost of a random card in your hand by 2. I guess
Thorson reference.
I was about to say the reference to BlackRock is.
By the way, if you want to speak on any of these specifically, you got some good point. Just interrupt us at any time. It's just the wild ones we wanted to kind of get through because they're not going to be too relevant.
You're fine. I didn't start playing until Cobalt and Catacombs anyway, so.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
The Grand Tournament one reads: Inspire, draw a card. Inspire means you use a hero power to trigger it. People apparently are too dumb to understand it these days, so they don't print down cards anymore.
It's dumb to understand it.
They had like 2 or 3 different Inspire Hunter cards, and they just didn't call it that this time.
Blizzard thinks that people are just stupid.
Dragonbane, Face Stalker. Yeah. Anyways, League of Explorers, the Excavation board has Battlecry, add a random weapon to your hand.
Could be good.
League of Explorers Museum has Battlecry, discover a new basic hero power.
Now that's one. Because that's a legendary. That is a legendary effect that came off of Finley Mergleton, who was famously ran in Pirate Warrior at the time, because the warrior hero power is really bad for aggro. But if you could discover yourself a hunter hero power, now we're talking. So this is potentially one of the better ones we're seeing for the wild one there. I think that's like if you get this board, you're probably gonna you can probably like to, depending on what class you're on, you're gonna like to keep this card in the mulligan with that board.
It depends a lot, of course, on which class you play, but yeah.
That is cool.
Old Gods, we have Battlecry, spend all your mana, like the Forbidden cards. Summon a random minion of that cost. It seems decent. It's always mana efficient, which is nice.
Yeah, you want to play later, we're probably not a mulligan.
Yeah. Karazhan, Battlecry, add a Karazhan portal to your hand. We're talking about Silvermoon portal, Ironforge portal, those sorts of portals. Mean Streets of Gadgetzan is Battlecry, give a random minion in your hand +2/+2.
Buff.
Which I guess puts in the Grimy Goons.
Yeah.
Angoro is very simple, it's Battlecry Adapt.
Probably just oftentimes just worse than the Stranglethorn one. You just get one adaptation.
But maybe better than the Stormwind one because...
Maybe get a better one.
Yeah. Frozen Throne. Death Rattle, add a random Death Knight card to your hand.
Now this could be another good one. So we
Power Creep on Arthas.
Second. Yeah, remember Arthas, everybody? This is what Arthas did, and Arthas was a legend, and this is better. Now Arthas was a beast, if I'm not mistaken. Arthas was a beast.
I think he was, and then he wasn't? Or is he...
No, he was the one that kept the beast, though he was the ghost, because he was such an important character, so he kept the beast tag. Now Volpiras are, by Blizzard definition, apparently not beasts. For whatever reason, right? Typically, canines are beasts, or like wolves and foxes and stuff should be beasts. Volpira, not beasts. But yeah, not strictly better than Arthas in that sense, I guess. But still pretty good, because Deathland cards can go crazy. That's big value.
Did someone say Kobolds and Catacombs?
Pimpkarp says Kobolds and Catacombs.
Well, the Kobolds and Catacombs one has Battlecry recruit a minion that costs 2 or less.
Yeah, knowing recruit and knowing how in Kobolds and Catacombs recruit was crazy, this could be good.
Was it like half a guild recruiter?
Yeah, I guess. What do you think about that one?
I don't know. It depends on the deck, but I feel like sometimes you're going to ruin some battle cries. Aggro decks may be less impactful. Get a Blazing Battle Mage when you play it. That'd be a pretty solid get, something like that. But I think it's decent.
You know what's some nightmare fuel? Like imagine you queuing wild just so you can get a quest done or something, and you're not thinking of any bad things. And then your opponent just turn 1 coins out of Vulpira, and the Vulpira recruits another Vulpira. And you just on turn 2 and you're staring at 2 foxes. And you just close the game.
That'd be pretty terrifying.
I'm not playing this game. I'm not doing this quest now. Destiny.
I don't need that gold anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep it, man.
Witchwood, very simple combination of keywords. Echo Rush. You made a comparison to the Hunting Mastiff.
Hunting Mastiff. So this is just a strictly better version of that. And this could also be pretty good value in Witchwood, I think. I like this. Especially with the Echo.
I think that was a good one.
Yeah.
Now, I know the Hearthstone Reddit community likes 4 mana 7/7s. I'm going to disappoint you. This is going to be a 2 mana 7/7. The Boomsday version has Taunt and Battlecry. If you have 10 mana crystals, gain +5/+5.
2 mana 7s. Gotta find a way to make it cost 4. But yeah, this could be pretty good as a value option. That may be more of something that you would have to discover. But the effect definitely fits with the Boomsday, with the Omega cards. It's the Omega Vulpira. Jesus.
Yes. The Ruskan's Rumble version has Rush and Overkill, draw a card.
That would be good on 2. This could be a good early game one.
Yeah, though I would have to note that Overkill on a 2-attack minion is not going to trigger a lot.
That is true. But on like all those 1/1s and stuff against like Paladin.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of 1/2s and 2/2s and anything else 2 or more.
And you buff it.
Yeah.
Rush, Overkill, even just the Rush is pretty good.
I mean, yeah.
Can't complain.
Yeah. That being said, I guess let's get into the ones that
the big ones.
These are
the ones we're going to be seeing.
Yeah.
In game.
I mean, we're mostly going to see standard play on this channel and in this community, so let's get into those. Rise of Shadows. Battlecry, add a lackey to your hand.
Better Rat.
Great.
Cable Rat, yeah.
I think this is good. I think this is really good, yeah.
Better Cable Rat.
Yeah, better Cable Rat. And Cable Rat's played a lot, so this is versatile. Not a beast. Cable Rat's a beast.
Rarely matters.
Are you going to play this? This is the first question I have for you, JJ. Are you going to play this in your Highlander Zoo?
I have thought about it. I think Rocket Augmentation is a bit of a dubious card, maybe. So, I definitely have thought about it. At this point it's known, I'm still in the tournament. I'm one of the 8 people that has to submit 4 new decks for the Trash Bowl.
That's true. And I'm just expecting your Warlock will be there.
So, it wasn't nerfed, and it's my go-to deck, so yeah, I have considered it, yeah.
We're going to see JJ playing Vulpira Zulok. Starting at something.
Maybe I'll put the Vulpira Scoundrel in there just to spite you.
You know, it's the Vulpira Scoundrel. I wouldn't be surprised if you did. Go ahead and do it. I'm gonna have Pimpkarp comment on that match alone or something. I don't know. I'm not gonna do it. Maybe I get Sergey and have him just entertain.
Sergey solo commentary.
Yeah, because Sergey won't know the bad connotation of the Vulpira, so it'll be fine. But yeah, I'm expecting you to do that. And also, Vulpira belong in zoos. That's the other thing. Like IRL, if you're thinking of a zoo, you're thinking of what will be in there, like a Vulpira, right?
Foxes seem more like wild animals, quite frankly.
Well, apparently Vulpira aren't like beasts. Like if it's not even a beast, it's probably very domesticated or something.
Domesticated animals don't go in zoos.
So what animals do? Wild animals don't go. Domesticated.
Mostly exotic ones. Yes, I guess they're wild animals where they come from. Yes.
That you take a wild animal, you domesticate it.
Okay, listen. As someone who lives in the Western world, foxes always just seem more like animals you'd find in the forest rather than a zoo.
How many foxes have you seen in forests?
I don't go out a lot, which you know. But
how many Vulpira have you seen?
In the real life, none.
Be terrifying, wouldn't it?
I mean, it would be weird.
Yes.
Because, you don't expect them to exist, and then they do.
It adds a lackey to your hand. Pimpkarp said it's pretty good. It's better than Cable Rat. And if this would be the standard, if this just always what it did, it would definitely see play and would be around.
I mean, yeah, Cable Rat is play. So,
correct.
Go figure.
Next one.
One of the Uldum boards, the one with the feet on, has the effect Reborn.
I think Reborn's pretty good. It's
Shock boss.
Yeah, it's just yeah. What are you saying?
I was just saying it's solid. It has staying power. It's a 2/2 that has to be dealt with again.
Yeah.
So it's not. It can't be bad.
Shotbot is a good comparison.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Just more random shotbot.
The other.
And not mech.
Oh,
yeah.
True. And not beast either. Oh boy. I'll play him.
The other Uldum board, the one with the windmill, it gives it Battle Cry, add an Uldum Plague spell to your hand. Now we're talking about Plague of Flames, Plague of Death, Plague of Murlocs, Plague of Wrath. There's one more, isn't there?
There is one more.
Yeah. There's 5, I just don't remember what they are.
Oh, yeah, Plague of Madness, of course. The Poisonous Knife one.
Yes. Oh, no one plays it ever. It's terrible.
Yeah, exactly, that's why you forget it.
Yeah,
but I was thinking which classes have Galatrons, and yes, Rogue.
Play Madness. Yeah, you could make use of those. They're versatile. Just another random aspect. Like, if you wanted to get, like, you're never going to play this to get, like, a specific plague, because you have to hit one of these boards, and then you have to hit one of the plagues. Not going to happen much, but it's going to be in for some fun stuff. So, like,
you have 10 boards in Standard, you have 5 plagues. You definitely include a card in your deck for a 1 in 50 shot to get that one card you want.
That Plague of Death whenever you need it so badly. Sure.
I mean, at least it's somewhat consistent in that the plagues are generally board control options. Yeah. Again, Madness is probably the most out there one, but otherwise, if you get Plague of Flames, Plague of Murlocs, Plague of Death, Plague of Wrath, you could probably clear a decent chunk of the board either way.
Next one?
Yes, next one! Descent of Dragons board. Battle Cry, discover a dragon.
Okay, now you mentioned how the Orgrimmar one is the scaled up Kobold Lackey. This seems like the scaled up Draconic Lackey.
Sorry, what?
You mentioned how the Orgrimmar version is the scaled up Kobold Lackey, and this seems like the scaled up Draconic Lackey because you just summon you discover the dragon.
Yeah, it's solid. Usually get a pretty good dragon. There's a lot of good dragons out there. A lot of expensive ones though. I mean, a couple times in I think that my tournament run this time around where I got very expensive dragons that weren't really super helpful.
Right.
But no matter what, you're getting good value out of it. You're getting another probably decently statted minion in your hand. So it can't be bad card.
An above average card.
Yeah, I mean, the Explorers are played. Some of them are at least.
So
Emerald Explorer.
I mean, the dream would be to discover the 2/3 that has poison, and then discover another dragon.
Yeah, the Emerald Explorer, exactly. On the Hunter one.
There we go.
It's not Emerald. It's
Primordial Explorer.
Primordial Explorer. That's one.
Yeah,
that's what they even played in Dragon Hunter because it's a very good card. Oh yeah, the value.
Yeah,
I can smell it. That would be great.
The Outland one is dormant for 2 turns. When this awakens, deal 3 damage to 2 random enemy minions. Now, there is where you compare to Imprisoned Overseer.
Yeah, this is where you definitely compare it to that.
Observer? Overseer?
Yeah, see, I can't remember it either. The Imprisoned Mage Demon. And it gets played a lot. Right?
Observer.
Observer.
I think.
Okay. Yeah, might be true.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're called.
It's like a Watcher thing, demon. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a baby beholder. Yes.
Yeah. So this deals only to 2 random enemy minions, which is still very strong. I feel like if it was guaranteed, then that same mage will play it. Of course, it's worse than that's minion, than the observer. Sorry, but I feel like it makes a lot of sense for control decks to want to play this.
Yeah. Which we'll get into this later. What kind of decks want to play this, and that is maybe thereby one of the more dubious ones. But last but not least, we have the Scholomance version, which has Battle Cry. Add a dual class card to your hand. Notably, it doesn't say anything about your class, so I assume it's any of the 40 dual class cards.
I guess, yeah. And if you don't know what dual class cards are, check the video that came out early today, where we had a card review with Pimpkarp. We looked at the cards that have been out so far, dual class cards.
Or yesterday's where we talked about the mechanics.
Oh, that one. Check actually both of them. Watch it both because there's nothing better to do anyway. it's cards that can go into two classes.
Yeah, I think this is going to be near impossible to evaluate until we know what the dual class cards look like. At least a decent chunk of them.
Exactly.
We've seen like 4 of them.
So now that we've seen all these boards, there's 10 relevant boards in standard, and we've gone through all the interactions. What's your first impression of this? How would you gauge the power level of the card?
I mean, it's decent. It's a 2-mana 2/2 that, at least in the boards that are in standard rotation, gives it a pretty solid effect for the most part. If we're talking about what decks we want to get into, I don't know if that's at this point in the discussion yet, but I have one idea on that.
We need to know where to play this other than Highlander decks. I mean, I guess
I was going to say
decks.
Highlander.
Yeah,
Highlander makes the most sense, and then like aggro decks, I feel like would be the next best option because usually getting a solid stat, whether it's buffing a minion, discovering another minion, adding some more value to your hand, it just gives you more versatility in a deck that really just wants to go face, so you can always kind of account for some stuff that your deck's not usually built to deal with.
Yeah, I guess. In aggro, you really never mind getting something of anything, whereas when you so you play the control deck, you really you get the storm on board and you really whiff on something that's just a 2/2 Divine Shield, which you really have no reason for running for value.
Yeah, I think the deck archetype besides Highlander decks that this goes into would be tempo decks. You're looking at Tempo Demon Hunter, maybe some varieties of Galakrond Rogue, or more traditionally just a Tempo Rogue. We'll see how the Galakrond Rogue meta develops. I think those sort of decks that like playing cards that have a bit of an immediate impact, that it doesn't really matter what you get out of it as long as you get something out of it, right? If it's either decently between the stats and the keywords, or you buff something you ping something off that your opponent has, which is also why I think that the dormant one is a bit awkward, because in a tempo deck it's going to feel very weird to plop something down and not get any impact.
I feel like either the dormant one or the Plague Discovery are going to be the most suspicious ones for aggro decks. But you probably take that risk still if 8 out of 10 outcomes are definitely positive, strongly positive, and the other ones are decent. Probably still want to take that. So Highlander decks though is the first thought I also had, like Highlander Hunter, or like we talked about with JJ's Warlock. Because Highlander decks tend to have to fill up spots anyway, and they're very, very versatile decks where typically between 5 to 10 cards can just be interchanged on whatever personal preference is. And if your personal preference happens to be Vulpera, then you can play that one, but 2 of them now in the Highlander decks, which I'm expecting JJ to do 100%, of course.
Probably goes in, speaking of Vulpera, of course, in a lot of decks that also Vulpera Scoundrel goes in. Yeah. Because it's a similar idea, not quite as varied, but you also get something random for a little bit of a bonus.
I remember when I played Highlander Warrior for a while before the rotation during Old Doom. Vulpera Scoundrel was in that deck too, because it's just a good value card. Mm-hmm. And this might be have a very similar idea.
One more thing that I want to bring up really quickly, I'm surprised no one has asked yet, is, of course, there's going to be more boards with more expansions in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
JJ, I have a question. How is that going to work when there's more boards whenever there's more expansions in the future?
Well, we've got a somewhat official word on that. Okay. Because someone asked that exact question in this exact Reddit thread.
Nice.
To which a developer responded with, their plan is to add new custom effects as long as this card is in standard.
Okay.
And after that, they'll probably have a more generic effect in line of discover a card from the expansion of the board that you're on for all boards coming after.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
But that still means we're getting at least 4 more effects that are going to be customized, and after that, it's just
more Vulpera effects. It's wonderful. Okay, so that's actually good to know. Yeah, I'm glad I asked that question because I'm really curious about that. So should be interesting going into the future. Which one of these do we like the best so far that we've seen here from the 10 standard decks that are going to be relevant? What do you think is the one that you're kind of really aiming for? Assuming you're playing a Highlander deck and you're really quite versatile. I feel like Orgrimmar's never bad, just dealing 2 damage.
And we briefly lost a video feed there. Anyways, I'm just going to quickly jump in there and answer in the meanwhile. I know that if I put this in the Warlock, I know which one I'm aiming for, and that is the
Lackey?
The Rise of Shadows one for the Lackey. in part because lackeys generally are good cards, and in part because that deck, of course, specifically loves lackeys as well. Overall, I think, Orgrimmar... I mean, quite frankly, Rise of Shadows is always a good one. Dragons might be good. Scholomance might be good. We will have to see.
We got him back, I think.
Yeah, we have audio. We don't have.
Yeah, we don't have video feed of your webcam yet, but you can just deal with that. We have your audio.
I mean, we're wrapping up anyways, I think.
So that's a good one. We were just talking.
Yeah, I had to switch from my laptop over.
That's all fine. We were just talking about which one is going to be the best. Which one are you going to prefer if you're playing something like, say, a Highlander Hunter Highlander deck? That is a versatile deck.
It depends on the situation. I feel like if it's against a more aggro deck, I wouldn't mind having that more dubious dormant one. That I have some faith in that one. But overall, I feel like the lackey one would be the overall best one to have, especially in a Highlander deck. That one seems like a really good option.
I would agree. So assuming that's the high roll and you get a 2/2 that runs, we absolutely said decks will play this. This would be included.
I mean. You're looking at a 10% chance to get a lackey, another 10% chance to get a dragon. You can even pick that one. It's a bit of a wider set. I mean, you're basically looking at this point at a 20% chance to get a good card and like an 80% chance to get something else that you might want.
I feel like it seems like a theme that Volpiro just do random stuff.
Yes, I thought that too.
Like we had discovered, we had the mystery choice and everything. So it's of course another wrinkle of the game feature that I absolutely adore. Just when random stuff happens, that's out of your control. But yeah, I think that's true. I think the lackey one is presumably oftentimes going to be the best one just because lackeys are so strong.
Yes.
And the question is, though, I'm going to ask you to be a little bit of like to basically play Nostradamus here and give me a prediction. Is this card going to see wide play in Hearthstone, yes or no?
I would think it's going to be in a similar vein as Volpiro Scoundrel, maybe slightly more common.
Okay. Pimp, what do you think?
I don't think it'll see consistent overall play. I think it'll be in definitely less than half of the decks. Maybe around like a third.
So it'll be like a
most.
tech to filler type of card.
Kind of, yeah. It doesn't seem like it has enough to stand out on its own yet. To make it a necessary inclusion in every deck. You know, it's not a Zilliax.
Oh yeah, that is true. Imagine if Zilliax was a Volpira. Can you imagine that?
Oh god.
I mean, if it was Volpira, it probably wouldn't be a mech, in which case it wouldn't have Magnetic, in which case it's kind of not nearly as good.
You know who's part Volpira? Amalgam, probably. Ruining people's childhoods. Nightmare Amalgam has been part Volpira all along. Now we know. It's confirmed.
The secret plot.
Yeah, that's how it's been going. Blizzard has been teasing this shit for years, and now here we are, finally. No one has done anything about it, and here we are. And we're getting Volpiras. And you know what? We're getting more of them. I'm going to call this right now. I'm going to do Alex Jones and just do, like, doomsday predictions and shit, right? They're going to print more Volpiras until we do something about it. They're going to do it. This is not the last Fox that we're seeing. And we should start a petition about it. I feel like we need to be doing something here. You know, we have the audience, we have the means, we have the courage of our conviction. Like, just change the art. Like, come on, like, listen. Dan Snyder was able, and you're living close, right? Dan Snyder was able to change the name of his business from the Washington you-know-whats to the Washington to be determined. And if he can do it,
that should be the name. The Washington to be determined.
Oh, dude, if they don't have a name, like, before the season, it's gonna be...
It's just the Washington TBDs.
The Washington TBDs.
Yeah.
But, like, not for, like, the one season but I can't figure it out, but just, like, for the rest of their existence for the foreseeable future.
I feel like they should just use
that would be amazing.
Yeah, but just censor it everywhere. Like, the logo just gets pixelated, and it's just, like, the Washington...
You just have the feather and then, like, a pixelated face.
Yeah, the Washington redacted, and that's
Oh.
And it's just nothing.
So that's actually...
You cover the word Redskins with like a partial censor bar that actually, but it's on the censor bar there's text that says "dacted" and you keep the "re" from the Redskins.
Oh, dude.
Or actually, I guess it's acted and you can keep the "red" from the Redskins even.
Dude, red acted. We got good ideas. We have good ideas. Are you noticing this? We're pitching good ideas here. We need to do something about this Volpira plague. Because it's going to take overhand and it's going to destroy the game. And we're going to be playing furries.
Next throwback card, Plague of Volpira. It's like Plague of Murlocs, but it turns all minions into random Volpira.
And it's just the two of them. But there's also the Eudora hero already in Battlegrounds. That's another one. That's another sneak invasion. So, yeah, Plague of Volpira.
I believe there's also, Eudora was also a playable character in the Rise of Shadows solo adventure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. Man, God. We got problems. We have to do something about this. But no, in all seriousness, this seems like a pretty interesting card. No one can predict if it will be played or not. This seems one of the most complicated ones to predict because of how volatile and how random and crazy it is. I feel like mostly it'll be tested by, like Pimpkarp mentioned so correctly, the Highlander decks, the decks that have open spots that just throw stuff together and try and use a lot of tech and gimmick cards. I feel like that's where it's probably going to see most of its application. So, guess that's all we have to say on this one. Let us know your opinions. What do you think? Do you agree with the majority here that Volpira are inherently disgusting creatures and they need to be removed from the face of the planet, which is, of course, the objective truth? Or, what? Actually, JJ, what is your opinion? We have never gotten your opinion. I feel like I know what your opinion is, but I should give you, fair trial and everything. So, here's your chance to denounce Volpira.
I don't really have strong feelings towards Volpira one way or the other.
Oh no, you blew it, man.
The classic Futurama quote.
Yeah. God damn it, JJ. You had a shot there to right the wrongs of your past. Okay. You try again at some point. Yeah, Volpira need to go. Thank you for watching the video. Drop a like if you did enjoy it. And let us know in the comments, what do you think about this enigma of a card? Is it going to be good? Are you going to be using it? Of course, everyone has it. It's free. You mentioned at the start of the video. Log into Hearthstone. Or don't. But if you do want this card, log into Hearthstone and you'll get it for free. I'm assuming 2 copies of it.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, because it's an epic. And you can mess around with it. And see if it actually works out well. It's going to be one where we can only finally answer it through testing. That's the only thing that's
my prediction is it's going to be better and more impactful in the meta than Marin the Fox ever was.
Oh, Marin the Fox.
bold prediction.
Yeah, that's a very bold prediction.
I mean, you got him through the same means, right? It's also login reward.
And you can't say Kalthus because Kalthus is
Kalthus is actually really good.
So yeah, you'd have to say
Marin the Fox is a legendary, so he must be better than the student.
True. As was Vargoth but
Vargoth was also one of those.
Yeah, it's also a legendary Millhouse.
I wasn't thinking legendary, I was thinking login promos, but yeah.
You know what? One of the Volpira effects should be your opponent's spell costs 0 next turn and it gains +2/+2.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. And it's just a it's a gnome Volpira. Thank you for watching the video. I've said way too much. Drop a like on it if you did enjoy. Join our Discord server. Link in the description. It's in the description. Open the description. Click the link. It leads to our Discord. That's why it's the Discord link in the description. And you're going to join that Discord and hang out with us and Pimpkarp and Lulnenko, who we're going to be welcoming back tomorrow for another Battlegrounds episode of the Hearthstone Report, who we're going to be discussing the changes. And keep up to what's happening Trash Bowl wise and expansion wise, because we're going to be in the lab pretty much 24/7, as a matter of fact 25/7, because that's how dedicated we are to getting to you the most up-to-date Hearthstone news and opinions and Volpira hate that we can possibly manufacture with between 2 and 4 people. Sometimes Sergey's here too. So thank you for watching. We're going to see you in the next one. And JJ.
That's it.
Pimpkarp.
That's it, Alex.
That's it.